Now, before we dive into today's episode, I have something so exciting to share with you. I am hosting a free training on Monday, May 12th on how to create a thriving product business without having to rely on markets. This training is new and improved with so much concrete guidance that will help you to get out of the constant hamster wheel of market after market after market and allow you to create consistent online sales. Because here is the truth. A strong market presence does not equal a strong online presence. And a lot of people do really well at markets and then wonder, how come they aren't seeing the same results online? How come they aren't getting in front of the right people online? How come they aren't getting sales online? And the truth is, it is a completely different strategy to see success online, to see consistent sales online, to see a growing audience online that is so excited to buy from you. And I'm going to share with you the 5 required steps for you to be able to have a strong online presence that creates more online sales so you can actually have the choice on if you want to participate in all those markets or if you actually want to enjoy the summer with your family, with your friends, with your spouse, with your kids on the weekends, instead of dragging a tent, boxes of products, wagon full of display items, selling all weekend, setting up, talking to customers every single weekend all summer long. So if you are someone who wants to take your success at markets and recreate it online to have more freedom, more money, more impact with your business, then this training is for you. It's happening on Monday, May 12th. In order to register, to get the details, the Zoom link, where we're hanging out, what's going on, go to monicalittlecoaching.com/live. And enter your name and your email address. You're going to get all the details there. Now, this is a 4-day pop-up event that we're doing. We got the training on Monday, May 12th, but we have other really fun additional calls and exercises we're going to be working on and just clarity that you're going to get throughout this entire week. So I'm not going to spill any more, but expect to walk away with so much knowledge and clarity and guidance and confidence in what exactly you need to do to create more online sales in your business from our time together. So make sure to register. You're going to get all the details once you register, and I cannot wait to see you on Monday, May 12th at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific to share with you how you can create a thriving product business without having to rely on markets. Hello and welcome back to the Product Biz Podcast. I am so excited to be here today with a very, very, very special guest, Miss Rachel from Balanced Home Apothecary. And Rachel is one of the incredible members inside Product Biz Academy who has gone through so much since she has joined. We're talking Etsy shutting her down and having to completely pivot and seeing her grow so much and smash her goals and just completely grow her business. We're talking about, we were just looking at some of her numbers, that she's had almost 500% growth in Q1 of 2025 compared to 2024 when looking at her website, which is absolutely insane and incredible. So I wanted to bring her on the podcast to just talk about her business, her experience, her time in PBA, and what has really shifted for her to see this incredible, incredible growth. So welcome, Rachel, to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so
excited
excited.
to be here.
Okay, well, let's start with the basics. For those who don't know you, tell us about Balanced Home Apothecary, what you make, what you sell, your passion behind it. Tell us how you got started with it. Give us the full rundown of your business.
Balanced Home Apothecary is at its core wellness products for women, specifically moms, both that care for the moms and for the kids and the husbands if they're around. And I just have a passion for utilizing our skin, our biggest organ, to help everyday issues, allergies, stomach aches. Nobody wants a sick kid or a sick home, so let's boost our immune system. Let's get we want our houses smelling nice, so let's make things smell nice with plants and use our diffusers and essential oils, and that's my main passion. How I got started was I'm a sensitive skin girly. I've always been sensitive skinned, and I like sensitive nose. I have a really good nose. I smell things. I always would my skin would break out all the time, and I noticed like with candles, I had to stop using them, and that kind of dove me into the essential oil world, and had my membership with one of the bigger companies for about 5 years, and then decided I wanted to make them a little more ready to use. So instead of having to DIY everything, I was like, let's just do this and I'll help my mom friends out and hopefully make a little bit of money. And then here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I love it. Tell us about two or three of your bestsellers. What are they and what do they do?
Oh man, the I would say my hormones magnesium spray right now is the bestseller. Moms are really starting to understand that they need to take care of themselves so that they can turn and take care of their families. And we joked the other day, not snip everybody's head off. So get some good sleep. It optimizes their sleep. Then from there, right now it's allergy season, so everybody's got the allergy blend going one way or the other in the car, the rollerball, the diffuser blend. Um, and then my third one, it's got to be it's a weird one. It's adrenals because I talk about it so much because we're all so burnt out. And adrenals is great for rolling over your adrenals if you're feeling that stress, or if your kid's having a hard time, if you want to again optimize your sleep. That's what's so cool about using plants is there's so many uses for them. So I'd say those are like the top three right now.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, amazing. Well, I want to take you back to before you joined Product Biz Academy. Because when did you join? Was it January of last year,
It
2024?
was
Okay,
2024. Yes.
cool. So take us back before then, 2023. What was business like for you? What were you focusing on? And what were you struggling with in your business?
I was focusing on um diffusers, like actual selling of diffusers, and not focusing on my products that I actually really am passionate about. And I knew that I was missing something. I just knew it. I was really profitable at local markets. But we all know like January, February, March, where we live, there are no markets. So I was actually pretty scared because we were starting to rely on that money a little bit. And then I I just felt like I had repeat buyers. So if I had repeat buyers, what do I not know about getting that same type of sales online? And well, now I knew absolutely nothing. So I just believed in myself, and I believed in my customers and the repeat buyers and the feedback that they would give me, and then saw the Facebook ad and hopped right in, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Join the dark side of Product Biz
Going the dark
Academy.
side. Yes.
I love it. Okay, so a couple things I want to ask you. It sounds like you were primarily focusing on markets before you joined PBA. Is that correct? And what was your market schedule like? Was it every single week, prepping all week long? Was it becoming overwhelming? You're also a mom of four.
Yeah.
So you've got your hands full. And how did being at markets constantly jive with like home life, etc.?
So I would say I have a really good farmer's market, and that one's great, but it's 4 hours. And honestly, it's such a blessing. It's nice to get out of the house, but I was trying to chase that at other markets and try to figure out if I could have that same success at other markets. And that takes time and it takes energy and trial and error. And I was having a lot of error. And then I would get home and I was exhausted and I was defeated. And then that makes me just not a great mom because I'm like, okay, I've just taken all this time away. I didn't make the sales I thought I was going to make. And I had somebody pretty early on tell me I need to divide it what I was making per hour. So if you sell for 4 hours, you need to divide whatever, 1200 of what you made into 4 hours and decide if that's worth your time. Well, it just wasn't. The other markets I was doing, it was not it. I was tired. And that Christmas, December 2023, I did a market every single weekend leading up to Christmas. My daughter's birthday is December 22nd. So, and it's Christmas, it's busy anyway. And I was just like, I can't keep doing this. Not at Christmas. It's my favorite time. It's busy anyway. And I just felt like I was just drowning in trying to make money and definitely focusing on the wrong thing, not focusing on making a difference, but making money. And then just being super scared going into that Q1 of 24.
Hmm. Yeah. And I love what you said of sometimes we have one good market, but then we chase that and expect that in every single other market. And that can get really dangerous because a lot of them won't be like that one that actually does good, but we get caught expecting that, chasing that, trying to find that. So it sounds like you wanted to shift things. It was disrupting some things at home, realizing it wasn't worth it. You wanted to be home more with your kids rather than spending all this time at markets. When you tried to like sell online, what were you struggling with, or what were you trying to do, or did you not even have time to really figure it out? What was that dynamic like before you joined PBA?
I would say I did a little bit I knew Etsy a little bit and was doing really well again with the diffusers on Etsy. So I did have that figured out, but I didn't have time to focus on anything else because those diffusers were flying. It was going really well, but it was almost like fake success because that's not even what I was passionate about. Like we can go to Target and get a diffuser. What do I care? And so I did not have time to focus on how to like optimize my website or even get a website. I had to shut mine down for a little bit because I was too overwhelmed with Etsy with the diffusers. So that was a big like hurdle for me where I was just like, I'm focusing on the wrong thing here. And, I look back and I have to give myself grace. I was just trying to make sure we could pay bills. That's all I was doing. So, and that helped me know that I am coachable because I had taken a friend was testing out trying to make her own Etsy coaching business. And so she needed me to help. So I saw that change, but it kind of stopped there. And I was like, well, I want a website and I don't know how to go about doing that. And I don't really care about these diffusers. I think I've got a good product. So there was a lot of that just, I didn't know, but I just let my heart guide me. And you don't know you don't know what's coming for you. I did not listen, I could have never guessed what 2024 was going to be like. I thought we were just going to keep on going up. The markets were going to be great. Everything was going to be wonderful. That was not true.
Yeah. Lots of pivots that had to happen.
Lots of
And we'll get to this too. I think you can now see how every single one of them was for a reason, right?
absolutely.
Okay, one
Absolutely.
more question about how things were before you joined PBA. Talk to me about social media. Were you on social media? Were you hesitant with what to post? Were you worried about being judged? Were you like, what was the social media life like for you back then?
I would never show my face. Sometimes I would get on my stories if I was really feeling confident, but in my head, putting I was promoting myself if I put my face up there. And I thought that was very like conceited. I come from a Christian background, and it can get really dangerous when you start kind of believing in your own hype. And so I was nervous about that. And I was nervous, of course, that people would judge me and be like, well, like, who does she think she is? Like, she's just on here pretending like she's an influencer and just all these lies, just totally timid. And I'm not really one that would like judge anybody else for that. So I don't know why I do it so harsh to myself, but um, I really let it hold me back, and definitely the opinions of everybody around me and the lies of promoting myself is, conceited or whatever you want to say. And that really it's very limiting. It's a limiting belief.
Yeah. And for me, seeing you bust through all of those social media limiting beliefs, like opinions of others, judgment, am I conceited? Seeing you completely bust through all of those and just show up so authentically as yourself has been like the story of 2024 and 2025. So I want to take our listeners to how social media is for you now, because we just heard what it was like. Tell me, paint the picture for someone who's never seen you on social media. How do you show up on social media? What is it like? What type of interaction and traction are you getting from social media?
Oh, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make content that makes me laugh because I this world we're in, we need a good laugh. So I really try to make it lighthearted and funny as well as educational. I show up, I think my favorite one I've done so far this year was that I got a mean comment about how essential oils don't work, and I got out like a tiny little whiteboard and was like, let me tell you how they do work. And it was so, I was so unfazed because I was like, is that all you got? That's the meanest comment, is that they don't work? Give me a break. I've been doing this 10 years. Obviously they work. It's
Mhm.
just like, and then really like it has given me the power back over my business because I am talking to my customers every day. They are asking me questions and they are feeling better. They are getting good sleep, and that is what motivates me. And I am funny and I know I'm funny, and so letting myself be myself has also been very healing, um both personally and professionally. So like I think my kids like barely recognize me, and I'm not kidding. Like I was always just like so down and out, and I swear they're like, Mom, are you funny? And I'm like, I'm hilarious. Hello. I don't know if you've taken the Enneagram, but I'm an Enneagram 7. I'm the joyful one.
Oh
Like
my God.
it's like, and they just like almost don't know what to do with it. Like they're just kind of look at me. I'm like, I'm kidding. Like,
Oh,
oh, Mom. And then I get like so many like, Mom, I love you. Like I like it's like I didn't realize what one piece of that social media could just blow everything up, both in my personal life, with my kids, with my husband, with my friends. But then also, it's just changed my entire business, and people trust me. I know what I'm talking about. That's the other thing. I get so scared that I'm going to overpromise something, and we talked about that a lot. And if I'm wrong, we'll test it out. We'll try something else together. We're going to get you feeling better. We're all so different. It's what's so cool about using essential oils, is like we can figure it out together. So it's just, thank God I got over all of that because I think I at the very simple side, my kids actually know who their mom is now.
oh my gosh. That's gonna make me cry.
I know. It's
Hearing
gonna
you
make
say seriously, like that your kids barely recognize you, not because you've changed, but you've come back to who you really are, right?
yeah.
Like authentically showing up, bringing in humor, how you said it's very healing, how you're unfazed of like what people think and can just show up authentically as you. And to me, like as a coach, that is my biggest job and hope and prayer for every single person in PBA. I'm like, every single person who joins this program, and every single small business owner in the world, the fact that you have that dream, that desire, it means it's your destiny. So, how do we just get you to shine your light that's inherently within you, that society or judgment or fear or whatever else has caused us to prevent it from shining, so that you have this massive transformation, like exactly what you just shared with us? So, tell me a little bit about like what really shifted for you, because I'm sure there's people who are listening that are like, okay, I feel like Rachel from 2023, not showing my face, not feeling confident, don't want to feel like conceited when promoting myself too much, scared of judgment, opinions of others. What really helped you? What shifted for you to show up authentically as yourself?
I think one of the calls we talked about, um, Whitney from Cleansed, she talked about, I think you guys had talked about it, but just it's selfish if you're not sharing your products. You are, if I, listen, if any of us was out here to make a quick buck, there are a million ways we could do it. We could be just content creators. We could be, there's so many ways to make money right now, ethically and unethically. But if somebody is, I thought about myself, like I always had migraines. And so if somebody who has a 10-year-old who has a migraine, which would be little Rachel, does not know that they can use a roller ball and either take the migraine away, shorten the pain, shorten the extent of the full-blown episode of a migraine. That is very selfish of me to not try to get that message to them. So that is what really kind of started me out of my funk of not showing up. Um, we talked about the Etsy shop getting shut down. I was like, okay, so there are two options here. You can let it shut you all the way down. And like you guys, I was in the hospital. I had my fourth baby in 2024. So when I signed up for PBA, I was not pregnant and I did not know I was going to have a fourth baby. Like that's just the truth. 2 days after I had my baby in October is when Etsy shut my shop down, and I got the email in the hospital, and I could not believe it. And, licked my wounds because you're crazy hormonal after you have a baby, and just sitting there and like crying in the hospital, and the nurses are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, my Etsy shop, you don't understand. But one nurse was like, "I do understand. You lost your job," and I was like, "I did lose my job. Thank you."
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what? I I signed up with Monica and PBA for a reason. I just have to trust that this is the road. And I have to trust that I can do it. I have to. And do I know if I can do it? Oh, then I'm sure I thought I couldn't. So that was where I was like, all right, I'm gonna start figuring out how to get on social media, and I'm gonna make it the 90-day project, and I'm gonna show up, and we'll see what can happen. And it's been amazing.
Amazing. To
Amazing.
put it lightly. Okay, let's talk about some of these numbers because we were looking at them before. Um, and these are some of the results that Rachel has seen. So in Q1 of 2024, last year on her website, she did 1,300 in sales. In Q1 of 2025, she did 7,800 in sales on her website. That is 495% growth, which is absolutely incredible. And you're driving traffic from social media to your website, correct?
I am.
Yes.
My website.
Amazing. And what's even more amazing is I didn't write this down, but I think we were looking at your Etsy sales from 2024 and you were at maybe like 5,800 for Q1 2024. So even though your Etsy shop got shut down, 7,800 in website sales Q1 2025. So it's like we don't even need that. You
No,
fully showing up on social media authentically as yourself, creating that trust with your customers, getting them to purchase, trust you, and also see the value of your products and purchase from you. Absolutely incredible. Other thing that we talked about is the full year in 2024, you had 10K in sales on your website since you did have Etsy and that was a primary driver and you had some markets. And what you mentioned is we're in April of 2025 and you've probably already surpassed your 2024 total website sales in 2025 in a matter of 4 months.
yes.
Okay, and one more thing before I let you share how you're feeling as I just brag about you. For Q2, your goal is 9,000 in website sales for across the 3 months. So it's about 3,000 per month if we want to split it evenly. And you mentioned you are about $300 shy from hitting that $3,000 online website sales month for April. And we've got a week left. So it's going to happen,
I know.
completely going to happen. And the beauty of it too is we can talk about this a little bit as well, but you still have a couple markets that you participate in, like a couple markets that it's your audience and you're not chasing after every single market. And one of the numbers that you shared with me is Q1 in 2025 in total was a $17,000 quarter.
Mhm.
And that's incredible because Q1 is normally the slowest. So if you have a kick-ass Q1, we can just expect Q4 of 2025 to be insane because small businesses and big businesses, there's stats that say that Q4 can bring in like 60 to 80% of total sales. So if you have a strong Q1, that's just setting you up for an even stronger Q4. So
Oh,
I
I
want to
can't wait.
pause and just hear your reply, your response as we talk about these amazing goals and metrics and numbers that you've hit with your business.
I know. I thought about the Q4 the other day. I was like, what the heck does that mean? Like, what am I like? I put down 9,000 for the Q2 website goal, and I'm like, well, what is it gonna? I know it's not gonna be 9,000. I know it's gonna be bigger. I just know it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so then what am I gonna write down? It's like, what am I going to dream up of Q3? And then I have to dream based on what that is for Q4. And what is Q4 gonna be? That I had that last week. I was like, oh my goodness, is it just gonna be? I probably can't even imagine. There's no way I could imagine right now what it's going to be because I'm trying to keep my head down and stay, focused on the goals, but I'm also like, what's that like?
And how does it feel to live in that possibility? Because there's a lot of people who live in the point of view of their business of like, man, this is hard. It's going to be challenging. It's a struggle. But you're over here daydreaming of like, holy crap, look at how good it is. How good can it get? How good can it continue to grow? How much more can I see? So, how does it feel to live in this energy of possibility?
Oh, it's so freeing. It's just I'm so used to the like negative talk that to not even, I mean, it still comes in, let's be honest. Like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but just to know that like there are so many steps can take that will grow things, even like I'm not even tip of the iceberg. We're just talking about website. And yes, I've figured out the local market is a blessing for me, of course, absolutely. But I had that figured out. The website stuff and the online sales and the wholesale and getting it. There's just so many untapped things I haven't even gone down to yet. So I feel very like, oh my goodness, what is coming? And to not give into, so let's talk about like when those thoughts do come in of like, oh man, I have $400 short of 3,000. Like, oh, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? And I'm like, no, you are gonna make it. And I do say, even if I don't. I don't have to be equal 3,000 all 3 months. It doesn't have to like just that's just math. Like it doesn't matter how I get to nine, as long as I'm going to be there. I know I'm going to be there. And so the fact that I'm like looking at that, like, well, it's going to happen because why would it not? Why would it not happen? There's no reason for it not to happen. I'm putting in the work. I'm hiring people to help. I'm being coachable. I've invested in myself more than I ever have in my entire life. And there's no reason for me to think that it's not going to happen. I can sit in that and I can watch everything fall apart again because I'm choosing to like wallow and sit in my crap. But I've seen what that gets me. I'm good. I'm done with that. Like
Mhm.
we're over it. So if something bad happens, we're gonna take a minute and we're gonna cry about it and we're going to move on. And I think I had told you on one of our recent calls that my one of my markets in March, the Friday night, just did not go how I thought it was going to go. And I was feeling so bad for myself. And I went and like had a pity party in the bathtub. And then I was like, okay, listen, Monica is with me. And she is not going to be okay with me sitting here and pouting for the rest of the weekend. So we're going to let that ish go. We're going to cry. And when I get out of this bathtub, and I texted my mom, I was like, when I get out of this bathtub, I'm going to go make more products because I did run out of stuff. And I'm moving on. And my mom's like, there's my girl. I'm like, yeah, mom, thanks.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So yeah, it's just, I mean, you can't listen, life is going to hand us stuff. There's no way around it. It's just what we do after that matters. And
Mhm.
if anything, that's what 2024 taught me. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for those lessons. Actually, I'm glad they happened. And I'm glad I got to have my fourth kid. I'm like, these are dreams coming true. You don't get them all at one time. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna post this reel and it's gonna go viral. Like very rarely is that gonna happen. But if you do the work every day and you slowly grow, that's I wouldn't say I'm slowly growing. I would say I'm growing pretty rapidly.
Yep.
Anything more, I'm like, "Ooh, just wait a
Yeah.
second, please."
Yeah, how incredible is that? Okay, this brings up two questions for me. Number one, how has PBA helped you to shift your mindset? I know you talked about selling as a service, that was one of them, but tell us how else, because hearing you shift from just like catching your attitude, catching your mindset, and totally shifting, what else comes up for you with that question?
Um, I think a lot actually. I just did not know if I put myself back in 2024 and I put us on that call where we first started, where, the free like training. And I just like I looked at my husband and I was like, first of all, I felt like something I feel like you don't get a lot of credit for is that you've been where we are. You've been at the markets. And right, wrong, or indifferent, I want to learn from somebody who has been where I am. I just feel like that is valuable. Is it fair? Probably not, but it's valuable to me if I'm going to take it seriously. And I remember looking at my husband and I was like, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I have to do this. And he was like, okay, how are we going to make it happen? And so just that one decision to sign up for being coached, because I think as we get older, we forget we need to be coached on things and we forget we can learn things and we think we have it all figured out, but there's just no way for us to have it all figured out. So just that one shift of signing up, being on that. Like if I missed a coaching call, it's because I absolutely had to. I was like, I am going to commit because I just really felt like something is coming. I felt like even in the deepest, darkest, like obviously something kept me going. I kept going. I didn't quit. And so if I think about that shift and it propelling me forward and just those little decisions every single day in 2024 that brought me to what it is today. Like everything obviously happens for a reason, and everything in our minds are so powerful. And I'm just thankful that even though I wasn't living like November, I probably started turning my attitude around, but before that, I wasn't living like that. Like I was like, okay, well, I'm just going step by step, step by step. I wish I would have been a little bit more like, I had a friend who she was like, I know you can't see what's coming. I know it's coming. I was like, well, I'm glad you believe because I'm not there right now. And listen, I was pregnant. It's just hard being pregnant. Your brain and you're tired. Um, but I say I birthed two babies in October of last year. I birthed obviously our fourth little girl, and I just felt like then a week later, because why not? Did the whole full rolled out the rebrand, and I haven't really looked back. And
Yeah.
it's everything's changed.
Yeah,
So
that's incredible. Tell me more on the strategic side now. How has PBA helped you? Because I know before we clicked the record button, you said your helper was like, why are we packing up so many liver rollers today? And you had a great reply. That was music to my ears. But tell us that as an example, and then tell us more about how PBA has helped you strategically, tactically to grow your business.
So I think definitely, when you have other business owners cheering you on who really believe you're not going to fail, that helps you. And then, I would call us a family at this point. Like we've cried together. And you have people to bounce ideas off of. So even though like, I we don't know everything, but there's people who have been in PBA before us that are like, hey, try this instead. And so you have that like constant support in one way or the other, where you're like, oh, let me just throw this question in the Facebook page and then whoever can get back to me will get back to me whenever that happens. And it's such a good like response. And then you have to I feel like the modules are absolutely fantastic because it gets you like tangible steps in what you're working on. But it's not even the like best part of PBA. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's the coaching calls, it's the community, it's the following each other on Instagram and cheering each other on. It's the so okay, so the liver roller ball. So I have not sold very many. I stand by my liver roller ball. I think we should do it every single night, but I rarely talk about it. And you told us recently, well, okay, well this isn't selling. Well, is it not selling because you're not talking about it? Well, yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. If you're talking about it, then that's why my hormones magnesium spray is the best seller right now because I'm postpartum. I'm talking about that hormone balancing magnesium spray. And so yesterday I was talking about optimizing your sleep and how you have to be supporting your liver. And so my customers, they already have the magnesium spray, they already have the adrenal roller ball, they do not have the liver. And so my personal assistant was like, "Why are we selling so many livers?" I was like, "Well, let me tell you, because I did the cell method yesterday talking about how important it was." And she's like, "I don't know what that means." And I was like, "I know." I was like, "You don't have to know, but it worked." She goes, "Okay." So it's just funny because I was like, "Why are all these liver roller balls sitting here?" I was like, "Oh, I haven't talked about liver in a while. Let's get them out. Like people need to be using them." So it's
Mhm.
just, it's overwhelming in like such a wonderful way of all the like different projects you can work on. Like, and you, one thing that really is a gift and is in slowing down and doing things really slowly. And I think about like lifting weights. Like if you do it really fast, sure, you can get that done. But if you take your time and you're really like lifting it and taking it back down, you get more better results. So when we're working on like my probably last 6 months, I've been working on the Instagram stuff, just trying to learn it, doing the cell method, getting comfortable with it, figuring out how to connect with my audience. If you slow down and really just focus on that, then once that is really kind of a working engine, no other way to say that, then you can go on to the next thing. But there's just so much untapped, like they're not untapped, but there's so much more. I'm like, I will never run out of things to do. Like this is just I focused on Instagram and the website, and these are the numbers so far. This is crazy. It's crazy. So
Yeah. Incredible. And for those who don't know, the cell method is something I teach inside PBA on how to like what to say on your stories to start to get people really interested, experience FOMO for them to purchase. And that's a prime example of let's talk about those liver roller balls, use the cell method, and then get some orders out the window. Just so much fun. Absolutely love it. Is there anything else you want to share? Because you've had some big shifts with hiring, getting more support just recently. Do you want to share a little bit about that, of just the support that you're getting and maybe more of the mindset behind it of why you're getting that support?
so I last year I was like, I need somebody to help me get ready for markets. And then I think we all know 2024, just listen, when you are in this and you're in this like entrepreneur mindset, I ordered something off of Disney, the Disney store. I got myself a purse and it came in a Christmas box. And I was like, it is April. So in my mind, I was like, oh, so see, Disney didn't even have the sales that they thought that they were going to have. They thought they were going to run out of these boxes. Is that true or not? I don't know, but I used it as like, I'm not the only one. So then so that I was like, oh, I was feeling a little shy about reaching out to her again. I was like, listen, I know it didn't go as well as we thought last year, um, but I really need help packing orders and getting inventory ready. And so I just was like, I know I think I'm scared because I don't want to like promise somebody work and then not. That's a big deal. But I I'm like, nope, she's telling me it's time, so we're gonna go. And just slowly taking those steps. And so I've hired a personal assistant, I've hired a virtual assistant. I met with a tax person yesterday. Somebody's here painting my house right now, which has nothing to do with the business other than I don't have to do it. Um, and today I'm meeting with a bookkeeper because I'm terrified of money and we're like, I know we're bad with it because we're not trained. Our parents would say that it's nothing, it's not a big secret. But I'm like, I need to make sure everything, because that will limit me as well. If I think I'm spending too much money, that is a limiting thing of like, well, no, the sales are there, but I need to have somebody else thinking about that. That's not me. So I
Mhm.
just need to like, I'm not the CFO, I'm the CEO. So that's been really good. And hiring people to help me at the markets has been really good. So they really know their stuff, but also like we get really intimate in the tent, like people, because I deal with hormones, it can get really personal. And so a lot of times they just are comfortable talking to me. So having that higher, like I can really make them feel seen and give them some hope. So there's all these things. And then last night I actually put something into Chat GPT about like, where are my holes for my business? I don't know. I saw a fun prompt. I was like, oh, I was in tears. It said, I was like, this is Monica. Is Monica on my Chat GPT? Because it was like, you think you have to do everything yourself. You're limiting yourself. You need to act like a CEO. And that's why went down and put my CEO necklace on this morning because I was like, okay, listen, we are going. We are changing lives. We are blessing people with the different jobs. The work is going to be there. And if not, it worked out last time and it was totally fine. But we're going to go and we're going to keep hiring. And I have a big dream of retiring my mom and then my husband if he wants to. I'm like, we can live the life that we want.
Yeah, how incredible. Look at all the support you're getting and the people you're hiring. Do you feel like you're valuing your time more and also getting more family time back from doing all of this?
Yes, yes. So I really unplug as I think that has honestly been a bigger shift probably since January is I'm like, I do not have to be working all the time. There is no need for it. It's different. It was different then, like it's not it's winter and I was nursing a lot then. So that's kind of when I educated myself on Instagram a little bit more. But the other day, last night, I was like, oh, I should be inside working, but I'm gonna go outside and play with the kids. And I was just like, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. And then I'm gonna go to bed, and then I'm not gonna feel bad about it. And I did the cell method. I did my reel for the day. I did the stuff that I know brings in money, and then I did a live last night. I knew I was doing a live on Instagram, and I'm like, that's it. It's done. And so the family time back is good. Then me not being on my laptop, even like if we're in the living room watching something, that's not family time. That's still mom working. That's been given back to my family. And just the freedom of like, oh, okay, so I love Hamilton, the musical, and they are bringing the original cast back in September, I think, or something. I told Ryan, I was like, I'm going. I told my husband, I was like, I'm 1,000% going. I don't care if I'm going by myself. I'm going.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. I think normally I'd be like, I can't go. I got to run the business. I got to pack orders. But the fact that like I don't need to be packing orders, I have hired help for that. I have a system in place that is very freeing that it's not all on me. We're getting inventory training done right now where they can make the inventory and it's just like I mean you've told us like our time is $200 an hour. I'm like, okay, so if it's going to cost me to paint this house $200 an hour, I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
That's the value that I see. And I'm like, even my husband, I'm like, your time is worth more than this because we needed to hire someone for lawn. And I was like, no, no, we're hiring somebody for lawn. Do you know how much your time is worth? And he's like, can you stop PBAing me? No.
Can you stop PBAing me? That is hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
I mean, your time is valuable. And so, and like, I think about the painter that's here. He's so freaking fast. He's so fast, faster
Hmm.
than I would ever be. I'm like, well, I'm gonna let the professional do that, and I
Yeah.
will help people with, it's just, it's really cool once you start watching because you're like, yeah, let's let the people be good at what they're good at,
Hmm.
pay them and honor their time, and not that they don't need us to put food on their table, but it is a way to bless people. So
100%.
yeah, it's really
Absolutely. And I think it all comes full circle because you are letting go of things in this beautiful way by getting support, it allows you to have energy to show up fully. Because you can imagine that 8 o'clock p.m. Instagram live that you did last night, if you were exhausted from working literally 10, 12 hours yesterday and with the 4 kids, taking care of the kids, taking care of the family, that live, you would have been tired. Maybe you would have skipped it. Maybe it wouldn't just have been your best. But if you get support, you can show up to your highest light that's within you, which draws more people to you, which draws more orders to you, which supports other people by paying them exactly like you said, which then grows just the impact that we make not only to our customers through our products, but also the people that we hire. And it's this beautiful ripple effect that you're getting brighter, and so are the other people that you're impacting. And that's really what this is all about. 100%.
yeah,
But then there's the entrepreneur that wants to do everything themselves, and that will keep them stuck. But we got to go through those lessons on our own and
it's true.
then see what comes. Okay, I want to ask you two final things. Number one, what would you say to someone who is on the fence or thinking about joining PBA but hasn't done so just yet?
Oh, you have to do it. You have to join. Just do it. I know it's scary. I always my I think again, we talk about limiting beliefs a lot, and I always want to be very transparent. Like a lot of us do not budget for business growth because we're just trying to get by. But if you start budgeting for that, stick it in your budget. It I think that Monica, maybe you said this, like anything like that, it should make you money. So you just, there are so many people that have gone ahead of you that say you have to spend money to make money. You have to invest in yourself. You have to, these are all very true things. And so I don't want anybody to think like all of us were like, "Oh yeah, like we all had those same things." But we just believed in taking that step, and I have never looked back. I never regretted it. I never thought, and as soon as I told my husband I was like, "I'm doing this." I mean, we make decisions together, so of course I was like, I'm doing this. I mean, are you okay with it? I'm doing it. And he, like, he's the best. But um, the other day, he was like, thank God you were like, I'm doing it because it
Aw.
just has changed our lives. And just one decision, like, you can, if you say no, you know the results that you got, that you're going to get because it's going to be what you've already done. So, how you grow is to say yes to a new step. So, just come on. Just do it scared. Just sign up scared. It's fine.
I
You
love it.
once you're in there, you'll be like, oh, what was I scared of?
I think that's what always happens because whenever I ask people this question, everyone is very humble. Like, just do it. Like, just what are you waiting for? Just do it. Because once you do and you see the support, the community, the content, everything that you get, it's like no brainer, you
Yeah.
know? But it is a tough decision to actually like pull that trigger and make it happen. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, and
Um,
I will say too, like I have friends that are like, no, no. Um, and I had a friend, I kind of got upset with her and she's like, you don't know what it's like to struggle. And I was like, so let me be really transparent. A year ago, um, we Etsy made me take the diffusers off the website. We were 2 months behind on our mortgage because of it. And that was like February. And still I knew I had made the right choice. So could I have been scared of like, oh, did I make the wrong choice? I was like, no, I just have to really trust that this is it. And it really ticked me off because it was like you're comparing your current situation. I've been in this almost a year and a half at this point, doing work every single day. And you can't get like super snotty with people, but if you could, I would be like, why do you think I'm stupid? I'm telling you to sign up. Like, I'm telling you to sign up. And it's not like we are all cheering for each other in there. And we don't like, yes, okay, some of us are affiliate, but don't use the affiliate. I don't care. But just do it because it's going to make your life so much better because you can sit in your ish or you cannot. I
Mhm.
did say that. I was like, you can sit in it or not, but don't tell me that I don't know because
Yeah.
I do know. And I know, and you can't compare. It has to be your road. And, we can get real sassy with it, but I'll limit my sassiness.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, everyone is on a path
Yes.
and has to overcome their own beliefs about business, their own beliefs about investing in business. And I'm just grateful that your story has, I know without a shadow of a doubt, impacted how people look at business, how people see what's possible for them, and hopefully how people look at investing of like, go for it and trust yourself and see what's on the other side. So I am so grateful to have had this time with you. And what I want to end with is tell us your Instagram, tell us your website where people can find you so that everyone can follow you and see more of the amazing products that you have.
My Instagram is balanced at a balanced home apothecary. It's very long. And then my website is balancedhomeapothecary.com. No fancy,
Amazing.
just simple words.
It's perfect. I love it. I'll make sure it's in the show notes so people can find you too. And
Yay,
thank you so much, Rachel, for being
thank
here today.
you. And we'll see you guys in PBA.
Yay, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Product Biz Podcast.